Welcome everyone. Today we're going to explore a significant shift in food policy, discussing the top 10 food categories and ingredients reportedly targeted for restriction or shutdown by a prominent figure, Robert Francis Kennedy Jr., who is presented as a new voice in a key health leadership role. For a long time, concerns have been raised about the quality of our food supply and the potential for it to contribute to ill health. Now it appears there's a U.S. Secretary of Health whose views align more closely with health practitioners focused on root causes and natural wellness, like chiropractors, naturopaths, functional medicine experts, and even those medical doctors who challenge conventional approaches that haven't yielded optimal results. This is a development that many in the health-conscious community are watching closely, as it signals a potential change in how we approach food safety and public health. First on the agenda are artificial colors, specifically substances like red number 3, red number 40, yellow number 5, and blue number 1 are under scrutiny. These food dyes have already faced bans or severe restrictions in numerous countries worldwide due to well-documented concerns about their safety and the harm they can cause. They are strongly linked to issues such as hyperactivity, particularly in children, behavioral problems, and allergic reactions. Red number 3, for example, has been shown to cause thyroid cancer in animal studies. Interestingly, this led to its ban in cosmetics under the FDA's Delaney Clause, which prohibits any additive known to cause cancer. So, while it hasn't been allowed on skin since 1990, it has remained permissible in food. With the anticipation of new regulations, many manufacturers are reportedly already beginning to reformulate their products to remove these dyes. This suggests that eliminating these substances isn't an insurmountable challenge. It's often more a matter of will and incentive than of cost or difficulty. If companies aren't pushed or guided towards healthier alternatives, they tend to stick with existing, often problematic formulations. The second area of focus is junk food purchased with SNAP benefits. SNAP, the Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program, formerly food stamps, is highlighted with the argument that taxpayer-funded programs should logically promote health, not contribute to disease. The proposal is to halt the use of these funds for items like soda, candy, and other ultra-processed foods. It's widely acknowledged that excessive sugar consumption drives obesity, type 2 diabetes, and cardiovascular disease, with a disproportionate impact often seen in low-income communities. If public funds are used to purchase unhealthy foods, the argument goes, taxpayers end up paying twice, once for the food, and again for the subsequent medical bills. Critics sometimes label such restrictions as paternalistic, claiming they unfairly target the poor. However, the counter-argument questions what is inherently unfair about promoting health, and where the line should be drawn, if not at preventing public funds from subsidizing illness-promoting products. This debate underscores a broader societal disconnect regarding the fundamental purpose and nature of food. Third on the list is high fructose corn syrup, or HFCS. The aim is to discourage and significantly reduce its use, particularly in schools and other government-funded programs. The rationale is similar. Public money shouldn't be spent on ingredients that make people sicker. HFCS is widely implicated as a major contributor to the global epidemics of obesity and metabolic disease. This issue is further complicated by existing corn subsidies which, as pointed out, make corn and its derivatives like HFCS artificially cheap, thereby making junk food more affordable. Naturally, there's resistance from corn lobbyists and large food corporations who cite potential massive profit implications. While these financial concerns are acknowledged, the health argument suggests they shouldn't halt necessary changes. Item number 4 concerns seed oils. The push is to restrict or eliminate the use of oils such as canola, soybean, corn, sunflower, and safflower oil. The primary concern is their extremely high content of omega-6 polyunsaturated fatty acids, which are believed to promote inflammation and contribute significantly to obesity and metabolic diseases. Increased consumption of these omega-6 rich oils is linked to a higher prevalence of insulin resistance, cardiovascular problems, cognitive decline, and even dementia. The proposal, therefore, is to remove these oils from school lunches and replace them with healthier fats like olive oil, coconut oil, and butter. This alignment with promoting natural, stable fats is a significant point for many health advocates. Of course, this contrasts with some mainstream nutrition advice that has, since the mid-20th century, promoted polyunsaturated vegetable oils as beneficial alternatives to saturated fats. The counter-argument here is that not all saturated fats are equal, and natural traditional fats like coconut oil, butter, lard, tallow, and goose fat are stable, safe, and healthy when sourced well and not overheated. Fifth, the spotlight turns to ultra-processed foods in schools. The objective is to stop serving items like frozen pizzas, chicken nuggets, sugary cereals, chips, and various shelf-stable desserts to children. What makes these products shelf-stable for extended periods? Often it's a combination of high sugar content, refined seed oils, preservatives, and various other additives. These foods are clearly associated with chronic inflammation, obesity, cognitive decline, and increased risk of early mortality. States like Arizona are already taking steps, aiming to phase out such foods by 2026, a move strongly endorsed by RFK. The alternative advocated is a diet centered on whole, unprocessed foods to help curb the rise of chronic diseases that are now increasingly starting in childhood. Number 6 targets artificial sweeteners. Substances like aspartame, sucralose, saccharin, and acesulfame K, ACE-K, are often highlighted as some of the most problematic food toxins. Concerns link them to potential carcinogenicity and disruptions to both metabolism and the gut microbiome. Despite these concerns, these sweeteners are found in thousands of products, including diet sodas, chewing gum, yogurts, flavored waters, meal replacement bars, and even children's chewable vitamins. The initial step proposed involves educational campaigns to raise awareness, even if formal bans are not yet in place. Seventh is a call for reform of the GRAS loophole. GRAS stands for Generally Recognized as Safe, a designation dating back to 1958. The original intent was that common, historically safe substances like vinegar, salt, and baking soda wouldn't require extensive new testing. However, fast forward to today, and this system is seen by critics as a loophole that has allowed thousands of synthetic chemicals into the food supply without adequate oversight. The loophole allows manufacturers to self-certify a substance as GRAS. They can hire their own experts, and if that expert deems the substance safe, it can be used, often without even notifying the FDA. Consequently, numerous compounds, including synthetic antioxidants like BHA and BHT, whitening agents like titanium dioxide, preservatives like propyl gallate, and hundreds of flavor enhancers and emulsifiers have entered the food system without rigorous independent testing. Many of these are banned in other countries. The argument is that this loophole jeopardizes public health and erodes consumer trust. Proposed reforms include mandatory FDA notification for all new compounds, third-party testing, and a thorough review of all existing GRAS determinations, especially for novel and synthetic compounds with known risk associations, such as links to cancer, ADHD, or gut dysbiosis. Full transparency and an end to self-paid expert certifications are also called for. Item number 8 is a supportive stance on raw milk. It's described as nutrient-rich, closer to its natural state, and offering potential immune benefits. Raw milk naturally contains enzymes that aid its own digestion and beneficial bacteria that can support gut function and the immune system. Pasteurization, the heating process, alters milk, and many who have difficulty digesting conventional dairy find raw milk more tolerable. The argument is that current restrictions on raw milk represent government overreach. The proposals include allowing interstate sales of raw milk directly to consumers, not just for pet consumption, and protecting local farmers who provide this product. Ninth on the list is a move to stop sugary cereals and yogurts, especially those marketed to children. Examples include products like Go-Gurt, flavored yogurts like Yoplait Strawberry Banana, and sugary cereals such as Trix and Fruit Loops. Strong opposition is voiced against these items being marketed as health foods when they often contain more sugar than desserts and are laden with chemicals, artificial colors, and artificial flavors. The suggestion is to remove these from schools and other government-funded programs, reinforcing the principle that taxpayer money should not contribute to making people sick. Finally, the 10th area targeted is processed meats. This includes items like hot dogs, sausages, pepperoni, various deli meats, and bacon. The primary concern revolves around synthetic preservatives like sodium nitrite or sodium nitrate. These substances can convert into known carcinogens called nitrosamines when exposed to stomach acid or, more significantly, to high heat during cooking. For example, grilling hot dogs, frying bacon, or baking pepperoni on pizza. While acknowledging the problematic nature of many chemically laden processed meat products, it's also noted that healthier alternatives do exist. Some companies produce deli meats without these synthetic additives, using natural sourcing, organic and grass-fed meats, and sometimes natural nitrites, which may not react the same way under heat. However, many conventional products also contain a host of other chemicals, preservatives, and additives. The proposal is to halt these products in government-funded initiatives like school lunches and SNAP. Critics might argue this infringes on personal choice. However, the counter-argument reiterates that public funds shouldn't promote disease. Furthermore, questions are raised about the extent of personal choice for young children in school lunch programs. What do they truly know about food and health at that age? It's often not a primary concern for them. This lack of health focus among younger demographics highlights a crucial point. Children and teenagers are generally not the ones actively seeking out health information. It often falls to adults, parents and grandparents, to become informed and guide healthier choices, especially as they themselves may begin to face health challenges and seek more knowledge. If you are in a position to influence the younger generation, sharing sound health information becomes incredibly important. If you found this overview insightful, we encourage you to explore more content that helps you understand how the body really works and how to master your health. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and stay tuned for more life-enhancing information. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.